take two at recording the commentary for Crash Bandicoot because, as you might imagine, take one didn't record properly. So here we go, starting in 3, 2, 1, play. And hopefully it actually works this time. Have you ever taken on a project that just seems absolutely cursed at almost every turn? Well, for me, that's pretty much this whole channel. Everything seems to go wrong. So yeah. To introduce this, as I did once before, but it didn't work. This, as you can tell immediately, is not a game I played a lot as a kid. I played it a couple of times. And I only revisited it recently, and it kind of kicked my ass, as you'll be able to tell. I recorded this sort of in the middle of the night. I didn't feel like doing a reaction cam, didn't feel like doing audio commentary, and so this is sort of a new thing I'm doing, which is like this post-mortem director's commentary, and it's kind of nice because I don't have to focus on the gameplay, obviously, too much. You know, I can try to be good at the game, and then separately later, after some time, after I'm not salty about all of my failures, I can look back and go, wow, those were some dumb decisions. Those were some bad moves, and I can appreciate the game in a different way. So I'll admit, before I recorded this, as you can see, I like saw a box out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, I'll go back for that, and that didn't work. Fell in a hole. So I played this for like 15 minutes, and I was having some fun, and I was like, oh, you know what, I feel like I'm probably going to be up for a while, so recorded this gameplay. This is one of the few moments I found where the game actually stops being linear for like this very, very brief moment, and then I don't think I encountered very many of these again in this playthrough, which is kind of deceptive to put something like that in the first level. You think like, oh man, there's going to be these branching paths all over the place, and at least for the first few levels you don't really see this again anywhere. Yeah, I was having fun with this game. There's some design decisions you'll definitely hear me talk about that don't seem rational. They seem, as you might say, insane. I know, I'm sorry. That's bad. It's a bad joke. But really, I had to end up doing big chunks of this game. I had to redo them because things would just get like you know, you run out of lives and it sets you back so far. And they put the checkpoints, or I mean, they put the save points behind collectibles. Like, they're gated so that you have to collect 3 of these like girlfriend token things. I don't know what they are, they're strange. And that takes you to the bonus world where you can actually die, as I may have discovered. And if you die in the bonus world, you don't get to save. There's one of those girlfriend token things. And Piranha Plant just ate my ass. But this is totally way cooler than Nintendo, you guys. Because we have question mark blocks and piranha plants and moving platforms, and Mario doesn't have any of that. He's lame. Yeah, I was definitely a Nintendo fan as a kid. And so all of those ads that were like, you're a dumb baby if you play Nintendo, they weren't the most appealing to me, I have to admit. So I didn't play this game for a while. But as you can see, it definitely borrows from the Mario games. Like, you collect 100 of these round collectibles scattered throughout the level in order to gain a life, like an extra life. And there's even, like you saw in the other level, a power-up where I got this like super mask that let me run with invincibility straight through a bunch of enemies. But Mario's for babies, you guys, and Crash is for like the cool kids, for the grown-up kids. This game is pretty difficult, I was discovering, but a lot of the difficulty, like there, seems a little bullshit. It seems a little unfair. So let me explain what happened there, because it happens a few other times and you'll be able to spot it. This extra life you get is this mask dude that follows you around, like this tiki mask or something. And when you take damage, the game very helpfully decides for you, you know what, you're gonna jump again. Because we could have just given you like a short period of invincibility and taken the mask away and let you like continue on your way. No, what we're gonna say is, yeah, you get to take one hit, but you're gonna jump because you took that hit. And so a lot of times they put shit right on the edge. It's like the reverse, it's like a reverse Castlevania knockback thing. It's like knock forward. So you think you're going to jump over this thing and you're going to be fine, and then it like jumps up, or you jumped early or something. And then it hits you, and then you get an extra jump and you fall forward into a pit and die. So that's a lot of fun. Here's this this nice young lady who I harass pretty much every time I walk over and see her. So yeah, at this point in playing, I don't really appreciate that the bonus world is like the only place you get to save the game. Like, to me, it's like, okay, that was weird. Anyways, la la la. But yeah, it kind of comes to bite me in the ass that if you don't get to that bonus world, you don't get to save, and then that means you get to redo a lot of the game. And as will come up, sometimes, you know, you get all the way through these levels, you get these save points at the end of the level, and then when you load, it's at the beginning of the level, and you still have to replay the whole level, which is fun, because it's a fun game. And it's super fun when it happens multiple times in a row. And you have to redo the same sections over and over again. And it's especially fun when those sections are really long and repetitive, and then you have to repeat them. That's where the true goodness really shines through. So as you see here, Crash has this spin attack. I've used it before, but here it's like they want to make sure you know it. First time I saw that monkey, chomp, dead. First time I saw that monkey, I thought he was like an NPC that would like give me a quest or like talk to me or like give me a power up or something. No, he just walks over and smacks you and you die. He doesn't look threatening in any way. Like, he looks like he's not even paying attention to you. Yet, yeah, he's apparently brutal and ruthless, and he just like rips your face off and takes a bite out of your ass, and then you die. And he looks so cute, which is why I think the first time I was just like, oh, hello, Mr. Monkey. And then he killed me. And then he murdered me. Look, he's like doing somersaults and stuff. He's so cute. But no, you gotta kill him. Here I think I'm playing Mario. Doesn't work. Does not work at all. So yeah, I haven't played any of the remake of this, the Insane Trilogy remake, but I think I should, because I've seen good reviews of it. I've seen that it fixes a lot of some of the old strange early 3D game design decisions, and like preserves that if you want it, I think, or maybe, I don't know, but fixes some of the stuff that seems a bit off by today's expectations. I like these. I like that this game has stuff to sort of like figure out, like secrets here and there. It makes some of these sections much more interesting to replay, that's for sure. The stuff that's just like... So I'll call out the level now, even though we're not there. The level Rolling Stones, I don't know if it's like a notorious level or anything, but it's certainly a nemesis in my book now. Because it's a long level with basically like 2 different things, and you see each of those things like 20 times. And you gotta redo it a lot, if you're me. This guy scared the shit out of me. It's like, who the hell is that? What the fuck? He's like bouncing you around. It seems like he comes out of nowhere. Like, this stuff seems constructed, but it doesn't seem like anybody's gonna be here. It's like there's wild animals and like giant killer plants and stuff, and then suddenly it's just like these weird like monks or something, like royal palace guards. I don't know what these dudes are, but here you see how the jump is just like a little bit awkward. And again, with so many games, like I'm sure all the stuff that seems weird to me and seems unintuitive to me, like I tried to jump on one of those boxes and I went between them and fell into a hole and lost my ability to save the game because I fell into that hole. That might seem very normal to you. That might seem like a perfectly natural design decision to you. To me, that seems like very, very strange game design. And who has all these extra boxes to throw at my head? Who's complaining that I missed boxes? Like, how dare you, Crash? There should have been 9 more boxes. And now I'm going to wreck 9 of my boxes because now we will be short 18 boxes, and that will teach you your lesson. I don't understand that cutscene. Maybe I'm just thinking about it too much. Maybe I should just enjoy funny cartoon Bandicoot hitting head with boxes. Maybe that's all there is to it. Here's a level that I think everybody kind of appreciates, but at the same time is like, but really, why can't Crash see where he's going? What has happened to Crash's like vision, you know? Why is he suddenly so short-sighted that you have to put the camera like this? Do I make it? Do I make it? I don't make it. I'm like a step and a half away from making it right there. Nope. You get crushed, you redo it. This is definitely one of those games that's still firmly in the era of video game logic, where like tech expectations and just like random creative decisions make levels so much harder than they need to be. if that makes sense. Like right here, there's no story justification for why Crash is looking backwards right here. Like why he can't look ahead of him, why he needs to keep his eye on the ball. But the game is just like, yeah, it'd be cool, it'd be fun, so do that now. Ooh, just barely made it that time. Also, you can hit these fruit, like you can kill them so that you don't collect them. That also seems like a very, kind of a strange decision, just sort of like to fuck with the player. Just be like, ha ha, you shot the food. But, I don't know, like these are there to reward you. And there are times where you have to be pretty much attacking like non-stop, so to like punish you for attacking with these things that are rewards, like it's, I don't know. Not my game. I didn't design it. Loading map. Like it doesn't tell you like the name of the island. It's just map island. So here's a level I have kind of a mixed review of. I got the mask, I hit a fish, I did the extra jump because I took damage and fell in the water. So this level, I think, and I haven't seen a whole lot of this game, but I think this level might be one of the best looking levels of the PlayStation era. I really think this level looks really good, especially the water. I think that water effect is one of the best I've seen, even in the PlayStation 2 era. Like, it's clearly cartoony, it's not super realistic, but it looks really good, I think. But, two things about this level. One, you can't really focus on any of the pretty stuff, and this is sort of a problem with all of the levels in a way. Like you get tunnel vision so much to just focus on the platforms and the hurt boxes flying into your path, so you really don't get to appreciate this game unless you're like watching a video of yourself play it for some reason, or watching somebody else play it. And then it's like, oh wow, this looks really good. There's that extra happy jump, that super fun jump that we love every time. And fuck that fish in particular. So yeah, you don't really get time to enjoy the scenery, even though the scenery's really good. And the other thing about this level, which I think is about to come up, which is some of these platforms have kind of iffy collision, and you can fall off like in the middle, like fall through it. Some of these jumps, like they seem like they'll be perfectly fine, and then they're not. And this is also, I think this might be like because they used up so many polygons on the water effect. Some of these some of these stretches are really straight. Like the river's not really doing anything. It's just like you're not even like going left and right that much, which, you know, I don't even think would be a technical limitation in terms of like putting platforms to the left or right in the water, but like having this whole river bend left and right, it just sort of like goes back and forth. The camera doesn't, you know, the camera barely moves back and forth. So this level, as good as it looks, becomes like one of the most linear, least interesting levels, unfortunately. I saw these diamonds, these crystals, and I was like, what's there? Am I supposed to wade over there? Am I supposed to go in that waterfall? Maybe, but not the way I tried to do it. Oh, there's one of those happy happy hitboxes where I fell through the middle of the thing. That's always fun. When your moving platforms are not fully solid. Always a good time. I like these butterflies. Like the butterflies and insects are another thing that like really add to the atmosphere in this level. So maybe those diamonds mean that there's something in the waterfall. I do not try to go into the waterfall again. I'm just like, okay, if there's secrets there, I'll look it up on YouTube or some shit from somebody that knows this game. I was just trying to get through it at this point. Here's another bonus round. Let's see, do I get through the bonus round? Do I manage to save the game? I say this in another video I've recorded but not posted in the Soldier of Fortune playthrough, that a lot of these PlayStation games have this weird obsession with like limiting your ability to save the game. It's like they don't want to, like they don't want customers to complain like, oh, your game filled my whole memory card. So they like try to save you from yourself and keep you from saving as many times as you would want. And it's a very strange design decision in this era of like autosaves and checkpoints, and like some games like you can't even manually save. They just, there's no reason to, because the autosave happens, you know, like the levels are designed around the autosave almost. That was a fun hitbox. I kind of slipped off the edge, like I kind of see it, but at the same time it's like, ah, come on, man. You could make these a little bit bigger than the art looks instead of slightly smaller. That would help me out. So yeah, the troubles when it comes to saving this game might lead me to just use save states later. If I continue this game. I don't know. I have a Pokemon playthrough going on, and I just started a Street Fighter one. And as frustrating as those games can be, as heartbreaking as those games can be, I'm more familiar with them, and so somehow I'm more able to put up with their frustrating aspects. So if you couldn't tell before, now, I have no idea how to beat Papu Papu when I get to him this first time. I'm fascinated by his butt cleavage, I'm fascinated by his wiggling belly, and I'm in awe of his ability to play Skip It. Y'all remember Skip It? Skip It was basically like a step counter on a string that you put around your ankle, like a ball and chain basically, and then you'd spin around kind of like this guy's doing, not exactly like this guy's doing, but you'd like kick it around and it would fling around your ankle, and like this ball on the end would give it some weight so you could like use it as a weapon in the playground and like kick it into other kids. Hey look, I beat the boss and then died to the boss. That's always a cool thing that can happen. When you kill the boss and his corpse kills you, that's always super cool. But yeah, this guy's weapon definitely reminds me of that weird toy where you would just, it was like sort of like jump rope by yourself without your hands. Nobody ever taught him how to properly play with the Skip It though, so instead of like flinging it around his ankle kind of like a hula hoop, he's just like spinning, holding it out. Somebody's got to explain to Papu how the 90s works. Like, I hear low pants are in. Like this? You guys like this? This looks gangster. So by this point, like, I've damaged him. But I can't tell how I've damaged him. Like, I jump at his head and I spin attack. Because everything up to this point, you kill by jumping at it and spin attacking it. And so I keep doing that, and at this point I think it's the spin attack that's supposed to damage him, but I'm not sure like what the condition is. Like, does he need to swing his skip it? Does he need to like be in mid swing? Does he need to be spinning? Like, what is the condition? Do I need to hit him in the front, hit him in the back? He steps on my toe, or I step on his toe, and his toe kills me. And yeah, I get to a point like this where I'm like, okay, spin attack the head, and it works like 1 in 10 times. I still haven't figured out that the reason it works is because some of these spin attacks I'm on his head. And I think that is the point where I'm like, oh, you jump on him. You don't, like, spin attack his butt or anything like that. His butt has nothing to do with the solution to victory. It's a mere distraction. It's just eye candy for the adoring fans. So here's the level. Here's the level that I will admit takes quite a while for me. This is a level that I was getting very frustrated with playing through, and watching it back I was like sort of reliving some of the frustration, and now having to re-record the commentary and watch it a third time, I think I'm pretty sure I hate this level. I think I'm pretty sure for the couple of neat things I think it does with like these sort of like crooked parallelogram holes in the ground. You know, as much fun as I have with the turtles there and stuff. Oh, this level wore me down. Part of it is this this little thing coming up. It's just a mess. Like, it's a total mess of explosives and holes and moving parts and if you blow up any of these things, it blows up like all the power-ups. Also, it blows up you. It's just eyes and shoes. I laughed at that so hard when I first saw that. That surprised me quite a bit. It's like Wile E. Coyote shit, 100%. Some of these things, like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because I was playing in the middle of the night, but it's like all they're doing is going back and forth. But somehow I just like couldn't get the timing of it. For the ones where it's like 2 of them going back and forth, I think I kept trying to go on the sides. Because when it's just one, like the one I just passed, it works to go on the side. So I think I would try that when there are 2, and that doesn't really work. As far as I can tell, you pretty much have to go in the middle when there's 2. And then go on the sides when there's 1. I don't know why that works. I know that didn't work. I think the hitbox on these discs is a bit iffy. You'll see one time, I think it might be here, I jump away from it, and then it like grabs me and shoves me into the wall even after I've jumped away from it. Okay, wasn't there. It's coming up. And there's another fun surprise I can sort of spoil. It seems like all of these platforms are the same, but one of them is not the same. And it definitely takes me by surprise.
What have I got?
I had no idea that was gonna fall. I was like looking at the skunks coming in, and that was a game over too. Oh, I was so pissed. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Suddenly one platform falls. Like, one platform at the end of the level. It's not like they teach this thing to you, and then puts you back to Papu Papu. It puts you back to the beginning of a boss fight. It doesn't, like, checkpoint at the end of the boss fight. It doesn't give you a free save at the end of the boss fight. No, you have to go back and redo the boss fight. What is this game? Like, there's so many decisions like that that seem like not fully malicious, but it's like they thought it was so fucking funny. Like, haha, now you gotta fight the butt guy with the skip it again. Like, okay, yeah, cool. Except, you put this, like, you make me redo this if I fall in the holes after, you know, in the level of 1,000,000 fucking holes. If I fail on that, I have to go back and fight the butt guy. Why? Why do that? Why do that to me? And then back to Rolling Stones. Which is not, I think, how you're supposed to smoke stones. But that's a story for another day, I guess. Demonetized. You don't roll your stones. You get the baking soda and, I don't know, ask the Wu-Tang Clan. I learned all I know from them. So this level, you get to see a lot of. And it's so dispiriting because it's like, look, there aren't times where you can see far ahead into the distance, but anytime you can see far into the distance in this level, all you see are more of these fucking discs. It's all Rolling Stones. And the Rolling Stones in this game are not that interesting. It's just a thing moving back and forth, and then they knock you into holes, and there's like 50 of them. There's so many of them in this fucking level. The jump is pretty good in this game. For stuff like that, like it's not a fixed jump like in Castlevania or something. You can steer in midair, which doesn't make any sort of physical sense, because I don't have wings or anything. Like, you know, try at home. Do a running jump and then try to redirect yourself in midair to land somewhere else other than where you've destined yourself to land. Try it out. It won't work, I promise. So it's nice that it has that feature sort of taken from the Mario games. Another thing, like these mushrooms taken from the Mario games. You know, being able to adjust yourself at the last second to land on moving platforms is very helpful. But then the kind of crashes, squirreliness, and the wonky hitboxes of these discs kind of make it difficult, even in spite of the pretty good jumping in this game. So this time I'm ready for the falling platform. Ready for the fall. There we go. Hey, look. Bonus round. Let's see if I can get my shit together to save it, so I maybe won't have to play this level as often as I did. Nope. That looks like a 2D level. It's not a 2D level. If you press up, you step up and off and you die and you don't get to save the game. So that's real cool. That feels like super respectful of the player's time. I think there's a secret down there. But I don't try it. I gotta try it when I play this again. I think to spoil it, I think I might be in a point in the playthrough where I will get another chance to play this level. Hooray. Hooray. Map. Hog Wild. Hey kids, you like auto-scrollers? You like reaction-based auto-scrollers? Here you go. Here's a level that I think looks really good. Oh, I skewered my hog. Here's a level that I think looks really good. It kind of looks like the other ones, but I think it looks really good, but you have no time to look at it, because all you can focus on are these pits and these spikes. And it's so weird that this game is like, you know, and maybe makes it a good game to try to stream, but this game has so much to look at that is really impossible to focus on for the player. It's almost like the game's meant to be watched more than played, which seems very strange to me. That spike is like too far to the right. It is in such a shitty place. Like, you have to... I think it gets me quite a few times. And these guys going back and forth. I didn't know what the hell that was. I thought it might explode like an egg or something. And like be full of candy, like a piñata. I don't know. It was not those things. Jump? Okay, it's a drum trampoline. Clearly, clearly I should have been able to discern that at a glance. And it is my fault that I just rode into it. This level gives you a good amount of these weird looking eggs and one-ups, but it's not quite enough, in my opinion. These guys are so, I don't know why they're so hard for me to predict. I don't know what it was. There's something about recording at 3 in the morning made just like simple back and forth obstacles just impossible to predict. They're like, who'd I just see? That little, damn it, I'm so old. I just saw this video of this rapper playing basketball. Kind of like D something. God, I'm sure I sound like I'm completely out of touch. But yeah, I watched like a couple minutes of him. It just like styling on everybody. He like so many jukes and fake outs and getting to that basket every time and just like sinking incredible shots. Like, damn, that's like professional shit. Yeah, he's all these guys are that guy. I could see the end. I could see the end of that level in that fucking hut. And that last dude just tripping me up so much. So it's back to Papu Papu. He likes it when I call him Big Papu. He only smokes blunts if they rolled Prapu. And he loves his Skip It and his mama. So around this time, I think I figure out that I can jump on his chair, and that makes the whole level way, way easier. Oh yeah, that's when I'm like, oh, this isn't a background element. I can actually be on this. Rolling Stones. It's so fun that when I run out of lives on Wild Hog, I have to go all the way back to Papu Papu, and then I have to replay all of Rolling Stones. That's super radical, dude. Totally heckin' awesome. And of course it's not, I don't have to. I should make clear, it's because I fell in the bonus round, which is the only place you can save the game, that I get to replay Papu Papu and Rolling Stones. So now we're back on our quest to find all the girlfriend tokens so that our I don't know, like I don't know what the story is, so that somebody remembers to clone Crash after he dies so that somebody can take on the mission one more time. I don't remember if I said this in I think I said it in this recording of the commentary. I don't remember. But this is definitely the era where video game logic, yeah, that was some good collision right there. After I jumped away, it like grabbed me and shoved me into the wall. That was good stuff. I was gonna say, this is the era where like common sense does not apply almost ever. Everything is to screw with you, to steal your lives, to make the game trolly and have a bunch of stuff that you couldn't possibly get first try. Because one, it's still coming out of the arcade mentality where they don't want players to be on this machine that's eating up electricity all day for only 25 cents. Like, you put in $1 and you never leave the machine until the arcade closes. They don't want that to happen. So they kind of like have a bunch of stuff where, bam, you lost your quarter, haha. Play again and don't open door number 3, you know. Shit like that. So this game is, it's kind of suffering from that era, from that making a short game very difficult to make it take longer to beat mentality, and the sort of the pay per life in order for the studio to like make it a return, you know, make a profit from the game. That kind of mentality. Even though I know how to beat Papu, I died to Papu. That's some good stuff. Papu is weird in terms of like, there's a period of time there's a period of time after you hit him where you can walk by him and not take damage, but I don't know, he can still kill you after he dies. So that's a bit odd. So yeah, playing through this game, I can appreciate why, for a lot of people, it was basically like, finally there's a Mario-like game on the PlayStation. Finally PlayStation has like its true platformer. I can see that, but at the same time, like there are some very 90s design decisions that kind of haunt this game. And some of it's, you know, due to limitations, technical limitations, and some of it's just them being dicks, because all game designers were dicks back then. I don't know what it is, but like the 2000s were really like the beginning of sort of user-friendly design, especially after the Wii brought people back, because like 3D games became a big wall. I'm sure a lot of kids don't really get this now, but there's a boom for video games like Atari and arcade era in the 80s, like late 70s and 80s. And then even when there was a resurgence from the NES after the North American video game crash, everything was 2D. Like, some stuff was isometric, some stuff was top down, but most stuff was still 2D, even if it could kind of fake 3D here and there. Once things really went to 3D, it was a huge barrier for a lot of people that grew up with 2D only games. And a lot of people who had spent, you know, probably hundreds of dollars in arcades played a few minutes of a 3D game and were like, wow, these controllers have too many buttons, 3D is complicated, depth perception is really fucky, with, you know, monoscopic 3D. You know, when you have 3D with two rendered views, like, you know, that aligns with our physiology and our instincts to be able to judge distances. When you're basically looking at everything with only one eye open, you have to go by other cues to figure out depth, and those can be very deceptive, especially when you have like a lot of weird angles like this. Like, you expect to be sort of in a square environment, but you have a bunch of like trapezoids and parallelograms. Like, that starts to fuck with your sense of perspective. And yeah, so 3D was a big obstacle for people, for a lot of gamers. I finally got the fucking save point in Rolling Stones. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, I think part of that is, like I'm saying, it's still coming out of sort of arcade meanness, and then you have this new dimension. Game over. I'm so glad I saved it right there, because now I don't have to fight Papu Papu, but I get to start Rolling Stones from the beginning. So even though I got the save point, none of my checkpoints are saved. And even though the checkpoint's at like the end of the level, when it loads, it doesn't skip the level, it sends me back to the beginning. It doesn't even send me to where the save point puts me. Nope, back to the beginning. So anyways, what I was going to say is, yeah, late 90s and early 2000s, 3D was both awkward and a little bit mean-spirited. I think it turned a lot of people away. And I think it wasn't until the Wii that game studios saw that being as user-friendly as possible can actually make you a lot of money. Because if anybody can play your game, then anybody might buy your game. But if you're making a game that only like 1% of people will ever beat the first level, you've just lost 99% of your potential market. You know, why would somebody buy a game where everybody's like, this is so hard and so unfair and so cryptic and so bullshit, and you'll never beat it? Like, that has some appeal, but it's never going to have the same appeal as like Wii Sports, you know, something where it's like swing the remote at the TV to hit the baseball. Like, stuff like that is just so much more accessible to people. So this game is very much of the pre-Wii era. This is a game where it's like, if you're not a bad enough dude to rescue the president, well then you're just gonna fucking die a miserable death. And if you're not gonna be patient or wise, if you're just gonna hold forward and tap jump, then this game's gonna take a really long time for you. At this point, after I'd gotten the save point and had to go back to the beginning, I was thoroughly fucking sick of this level. Like, it's so repetitive. Like, you can't tell where you are in it by looking at any one screenshot. Like, is this the second obstacle or the 10th obstacle? They all, you know, with very, very slight variations, are basically all the same fucking challenge. Oh, look, here are skunks. Skunks over. Back to the same fucking challenge over and over again. So yeah, that definitely started to wear me down. I will admit that. And now I get to go to Hog Wild with 1 life. Yay! Oh my god. That's the other thing. It's like a 1-2 punch. We have this long, repetitive level that's not hard, but it's just like... Maybe this sounds contradictory. It's not hard, but it's easy to make a mistake in. Like, it's easy to make a stupid mistake, because you have to do the same thing so many times. And it's an easy thing to do, but just that you have to do it so many times with slight differences makes it easy to, like, stop paying attention and then fuck up one of those slight differences. And then this one is just, like, sensory overload. Like, it goes from hypnotizing you into losing all your lives to, like adrenaline shot to the heart. And then, like, hey, let's go dancing. I know that I got the movie Pulp Fiction backwards, but it's that's just what I'm feeling for this level. Little Dirk? Was that the name? Maybe that was the name of the amazing basketball playing rap man. So I just killed that hog against a dead hog. So I'm sure that I'm sure if my hog didn't really die, he's suffering some kind of immense psychological trauma to be beaten with a corpse of what's probably a family member. A close family friend. Wild hog time. I don't like the way Crash looks at the camera before he jumps on this thing. It almost makes it seem like he didn't mean to jump on the hog, like onto the hog's back. It's like, hey, look at it. There she is. Yeah. Yeah, you like that? Look at that poly ass. Look at them 4 polygons right there. Oh, missed. Oh god, where are we going? He's got a very creepy look on his face. I don't like it. Oh my god. That thing is so... It's... Stuff like that is so frustrating because it's like, okay, I see the thing to the right, I hold left for a second. Okay, I'm past the thing on the right. Thing coming up on the left, I hold right, and then he just doesn't go fast enough. And it's like I started holding right as soon as I was, like, had cleared the thing to the right, but then it doesn't go right enough and runs into the thing on the left. It's like, I don't know who to blame for that. Like, It seemed like I did exactly the right thing and still hit this fucking random ass spiny barb pole in the middle of this village slash trade route slash secret temple like hideaway. Like I don't know, I don't even know. I don't know what this level is. I think that's maybe part of my frustration with it, is it seems so fucking arbitrary. It's like one of the most video game logic levels of all. We don't know who built this. You don't know what these things are doing. You don't know how they have perpetual motion. You don't know why any of this is here. But it's all a pain in the ass. Every time I come back to this level, I get worse at it. Honestly. I get so fucking sick of this level. And so many of the secrets, like that one, are just like... I can never get the fucking... I can never prevent the TNT from blowing up all the power-ups. And that weird, like, creepy doctor token thing, I don't even know if I ever find all three of them. Like, there's probably one I miss every single time. Yeah, something I said in the first commentary that I don't think I said in this one is that this game is like... It's very... it's very carefully optimized in terms of like 3D graphics, and by carefully I mean like manually by hand optimized. So in modern games, one thing you do when drawing the current frame is you figure out everything that's in front of the camera, like everything that the camera could potentially draw, and then you figure out basically everything that's up front that obscures your vision of stuff way in the background. And so if there's like a wall or something that's covering up a bunch of stuff off in the distance, it won't try to draw the stuff in the distance. It'll determine that there's no point because there's a wall in front, and it'll just draw the wall, and nothing past it gets rendered. Instead of it like rendering everything in the background and then drawing a big wall over it, which would waste a bunch of time. But that's sort of like the default. The default in a 3D engine is to try to draw everything, like figure out how to draw everything even if you're not gonna fucking draw it. And so one of the ways you can get around that, which is not the most efficient way, but it's a way that works, is in this game there are huge lists tied to basically how far you've walked, like how far you've progressed in the game. I guess what you'd call your y-axis, even though you sort of like go in and out, you know, like they're turny paths, so it's not just like a straight axis. But they went through, I think the CEO of Naughty Dog, like the founder, is one of the people who actually went through and did this. They figured out what plants and what walls and what rocks and what enemies should be drawn for basically every position in the game. So it's like all of these frames are basically like hand built in a way. And it's only when you get to certain steps that they decided to render certain things like in the background. So, and then as soon as you pass something, of course, it stops trying to render it. And that's basically like what modern 3D engines do automatically, but this one does not have it automatically, which is an incredibly impressive feat, honestly, that you have to figure out like at what % of progress through the level Crash is, where you draw every polygon, every object in the fucking level. That is so unimaginably tedious to have to do. And on some of these, like, the camera looks pretty far ahead. So like right here, there's probably 100 different things being drawn. And somebody had to like sit there and like add objects to the list until everything was there, until like everything looked right. And then they had to determine like at exactly what point to stop drawing every single thing. And I really hope they didn't do it quite as tediously by hand as I think they did, but like I would have hoped that they had figured out some way to just like not try to draw stuff behind the camera. But from what I've heard, they just did it the hardcore way. Like they did it the worst possible way that gave them the most control, I guess is how you might say it. I really think there's a secret down there, now that I've seen that a few times, and I see that magic floating crystal, which I thought told me that there was a secret in the waterfall, but I guess I fucked that up. I guess I fucked that jump up, even though I didn't think I'd fucked that jump up. But that was the jump that made me decide that I had had enough of Crash Bandicoot for the night. And I think it was like 4 in the morning or so when I got to there. And yeah, I was done with the Rolling Stone level. Very, very, very much done with that good old Rolling Stone level. So I think I will pick up Crash at least one more time. Maybe I'll try to do it like this, just for the hell of it. I'll try to, you know, focus on the gameplay, because it's a pretty hard game. Do my best there, and then give myself some time away from it, and then come back and make fun of myself. So yeah, I guess I will see you on the next episode. Like and subscribe, do the notifications, watch all of my videos. All of that helps me out a lot, helps me get closer to monetizing and promoting all the different projects that I want to do on this channel. And if you are following and have the notifications enabled, you'll see all the different random stuff that I do for this business, and all the games, and my own games, and my book that's coming out this year, and all that stuff. So yeah, see you around. See you around. Bye-bye.